Fire Def Rebel. Def Rebel are garbage. Def Rebel ruins the product of WWE music. I've heard it all. But in today's video, guys, I'm going to be telling you all my honest opinions. Unbiased opinions about Def Rebel. And do Def Rebel truly deserve the negative output they deserve? So, in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys how I truly feel about Def Rebel, and do they really deserve to be canned for their terrible music? There are a few rare times I ever get mad whenever Def Rebel change a theme song. And yeah, I understand when people get upset about their favorite songs being changed. It's definitely something I understand. You have every right to be upset whenever that happens. But taking it to the lengths where you must say that these people should be fired, I think that is a bit of a step too far, in my opinion. Is WWE planning on moving on from Def Rebel? Well, according to rumors and reports, that they are planning on moving on from them. So again, it sounds like fans will be getting what they want, but I find it bizarre. Now, I don't know if people have been aware, if they've been around a lot longer than people led to believe. I find it only weirdly now, about maybe last year, 2023, 2024, last year and this year, I kind of find it, I find it bizarre that it's only taken some people about a year or last year to realize that the music is done by a group named Def Rebel. Def Rebel have been producing music since 2019. Def Rebel have been around a lot longer than you think. They have been around since 2019, and the first ever Def Rebel song they made was Bailey's heel theme, Deliverance. And also Io Sky's theme, that we hear a lot nowadays. And no, it's not a CFO theme, because I do get some delusional people telling me, actually, it's not done by Def Rebel, that is a CFO soundtrack. No, it is not. Spotify and other music productions will tell you Io Sky's theme is Def Rebel. The last CFO soundtrack that was made by CFO was Sasha Banks' theme, the Sky's the Limit remix, the one that has Snoop Dogg in it. That was the final CFO soundtrack they ever made. How do I know? Because I remember finding a list somewhere that someone had a giant list of all the songs that CFO made, and they had Sasha Banks' theme as listed as the last one. So Def Rebel have been around a lot longer than you guys are failing to recognize. Def Rebel have made some great themes, like Seth Rollins' Visionary theme, Roman Reigns' Tribal Chief theme, there are definitely a lot more good ones. Jay's new one, Main Event-ish, Jimmy's new theme, Born a King, Oscar's new one, You Can't Hide. I'll even go and say Charlotte's new one is pretty good. All Hail a Queen. Zelina Vega's theme, The Doll, or whatever it's bloody called now. A Def Rebel theme. Pretty good. There are Alexa Bliss, Fight Me, a pretty good Def Rebel soundtrack. Billy Kay, Seduction. Keith Lee's Def Rebel theme, not the one that he had in NXT, the one he had on the main roster. The one where he references Super Saiyan. I've forgotten what that one was called. That was a good one. Bron Breakker, The Call. His recent new one this year. Break Everything. Great. Cora Jade's theme. Her Twisted Generation and heel one. Great. Roxanne's face and heel ones. Great. MSK. Wesley. Trick Williams. Great. All great songs. Julia's new theme. Julia's theme. Great. The thing that I'm trying to tell you all is that you people like to put Def Rebel in a really bad light, but they're not as bad. They're nowhere near as terrible as you try to proclaim they are. Now, have they made some stinkers? Yes! I'm not trying to say, oh, I think all their songs are good. No, there are actually some bad ones. There are some bad ones I don't like. I didn't like Honey, which was Peyton Royce's one. I didn't like Tredeki. I think that's what it's called. The one that Carmella had before she ended up changing it to She Bad. That one I like more. Tamina's one. I didn't really like Tamina's. Tozawa. Chad Gable, My Way, or Shorty G, the one that he had before he got the Alpha Academy theme. My Way, the Shorty G theme. I mean, it wasn't a bad song, just wasn't a fan of it. Just didn't think it fit him. Who else? I'm trying to think here. Oh yeah, Mandy Rose's theme, Toxic Attraction, that was a good one. That was a good song. Which then became JC Jane's theme. The new one they gave Emma, All About Me, wasn't the biggest fan of that one. Karrion Kross's theme, not the fan of that one. Even the one with the Final Testament, not a great one. I even think Jade Cargill's theme is even really good. The one that Jade Cargill has is really good. You know, the one that Jade Cargill has, fantastic. I think that one's great. Yes, it's sort of like her AEW song, but it's still great. I even think the Brawling Brutes theme, We Bring the Fire, was a good one. I even thought that was a good one. The thing is, there are some Def Rebel songs that are actually good.
Here's a box of scratch.
And yes, there are some bad ones, like the ones I just mentioned. There are some bad ones, like the ones I mentioned. Tozawa, Tamina, Carmella's Tredeki theme. Emma's, when she came back. Shayna Baszler's new one. Though I didn't mind that one, it wasn't that great. I don't even like the PFC theme. I don't even like that one. I don't even like the PFC theme. Not a fan of Lyra Valkyria's theme. Not that big on her song. You see, the reason why I struggle to think about bad Def Rebel themes is because I'm not one of those guys that think every single Def Rebel song is bad. Do I hate AJ Styles' new one? At first I wasn't all that fond of it, but over time I grew to like it. Not the biggest fan of Carmelo Hayes' theme. But yeah, I'll put AJ Styles' new one in the negatives just to make you people happy. Sheamus' new theme, and now recently the Judgment Day. And I will say, I'm not here to be biased. I'm telling you guys, yes, Def Rebel have delivered some bad songs, but they are not all bad. People make them sound like they are a cancer, they are the worst thing that has happened to WWE. I will say this, I am not a fan of the remix they gave Bayley's theme. When they had Deliverance, and then they changed it to be more babyfacey, nah. That one I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the babyface version of Deliverance of Bayley's theme. I will tell you, not a fan, don't like it at all. I wasn't even a fan of the Candice and Indy tag team music. It was just a remix of Candice and Indy's themes mashed together. I liked their individual themes, but they were both done by Def Rebel, which both of their individual themes are Def Rebel. I'm not a fan of Tiffy Time, because I did prefer her NXT one. But I'm trying to tell you all, Def Rebel are not that bad. They have delivered more good than bad. But people like to focus solely on the negative, because whenever they hear a bad song, they always like to be like, oh, Def Rebel, man, why do they do this? But they have delivered some good ones, yeah? The Dirty Dogs theme wasn't great, remember that one? Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode's tag team music, remember that one? Yeah, that one wasn't all that great, was it? That one wasn't great. Who else's theme did they do? I remember Apollo Crews, living my life on top. That one. I remember that one. Yeah, the new Viking Raiders song, the one that was called Vicious. Yeah, not great. Yeah, that one wasn't great. I'll admit, that one wasn't great. I don't mind Solo Sikoa's theme. That was done by Def Rebel. The Heel Street Profit theme, I didn't hate it, but I didn't hate it per se, it just wasn't great. It wasn't good. So, again, I'm trying to tell you all, yes, Def Rebel have delivered some stinkers, and there are definitely some bad ones, but there are way more good than bad. Dijak's theme, Dijak's theme in NXT, there are way more positives than negatives. There are way more good than bad. If you're one of those people that just flat out hates every single Def Rebel song, even if they are good, then in my opinion, you're just a flat out Def Rebel hater, and nothing will ever, and none of their music will ever impress you. I even don't mind American Made's music. I even don't mind that song. I don't mind Alpha Academy's theme. As I'm trying to say, there are way more positive Def Rebel themes than negatives. And again, it's not me trying to be biased, because I've always liked Def Rebel. Because I've always been a Def Rebel supporter. I've always liked them. And I don't think they are as bad as the internet community like to try and paint them. There's definitely more good than bad. Chelsea Green, though I don't like her theme's alright. Piper Nivens is alright. Not the biggest fan of Meechin's. I like Naomi's new one. Sonya Deville's is alright, I suppose. The one she has on her own and not the PFC one. Dakota Kai's one is a really good one. Again, there are way more good Def Rebel songs than bad, and this is the thing that annoys me. It annoys me because there are more good Def Rebel themes than bad, and people just like to flat out attack Def Rebel whenever they deliver a bad song. And I get it. They have had some stinkers in the past. They have had some bad songs. But again, when you look over their entire history from 2019 to 2020, 2021 and onwards, they have delivered a lot of good songs. Hell, even Eva Marie had a good Def Rebel song. Remember Boss It, we do it often. The only Alexa Bliss song that I didn't like during the Def Rebel era was the spooky one. I think it was called, The Fury? What was it called? The Fury? The one that where she says, "Welcome to my playhouse." I can't remember the name of the song. I think it's called The Fury. I think it was called The Fury. I can't remember. But yeah, that was the only one I didn't like. Fight Me, I don't mind. Fight Me is good. Hell, I'll even be a dick and I'll even say I liked Sami Zayn's heel theme. This is it. But all I'm trying to say is that Def Rebel are not always that bad. I don't like all of Logan Paul's themes, even though Def Rebel produced all of his songs. I don't like any of them. But this video is me telling you all with no bias that Def Rebel have delivered more good songs than bad. So Jesus Christ, can people stop overreacting every single time Def Rebel do a bad song, please? I get it. Sheamus's new theme, not great. Recently we got the Judgment Day getting a new song. And yes, I wasn't happy about that either. But again, I'm not going to go to the links and say fire Def Rebel. Even if my favorite wrestlers get a completely new theme. Randy Orton at one point was going to get a Def Rebel theme. CM Punk was going to get a Def Rebel theme, and both of them said piss off. So even if we get, again, from what I understand, whenever Def Rebel goes, that they're going to be focusing more on mainstream media songs. So they're going to be just focusing more on, albums of actual bands. They're going to be more going to, hey, get a CD of your favorite band, and then and that song will be your theme. That's more what they're going to be doing going forward when Def Rebel eventually goes. But this video is me telling you that Def Rebel is not as bad as you all continue to say. Don't like my opinion? That's perfectly fine. You don't have to like my opinion. Do you have to get mad at me for not liking my opinion and tell me how wrong I am? And scream at me telling me my opinion is dumb? Then that's your preference. In my unbiased opinion, Def Rebel is overhated. They have delivered more good than bad. Do they deserve to get hated on whenever they deliver a bad song? Yes. Yes. They do deserve bad rap whenever they do deliver a bad song. But they also deserve praise whenever they deliver a good song. You can't you can't shower them with negativity whenever they deliver a bad song, but whenever they deliver a good song, you ignore it. So yeah, that is my opinion of Def Rebel. They've delivered more good than bad. And they do deserve the negative reaction whenever they do deliver a bad song, but they also deserve praise whenever they do deliver a good song. Happy New Year!